Pentacles and Five of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. I will go ahead and clarify our cards. So clarifying the Queen of Wands with the ring. So yeah, ring is clarifying the Queen of Wands. Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Rider. Four of Swords is clarified by the Whip. Number 11, Lenormand. Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Letter. Nine of Pentacles is clarified by the Skite, number 10, Lenormand. And Five of Cups energy is clarified by the Flowers. I'm gonna go ahead and also clarify the bottom of the deck cards. So this is King of Wands and clarified by the Fox. It is very interesting to see both the Queen and the King of Wands in this reading. So it seems we have some story going on there. The signs that you may be dealing with around this time can be Capricorn, Scorpio, Libra, and also Virgo energy I'm feeling in this. There is actually a time around commitment, like you are asked to commit to a path. There is also agreements attached to that, or you are going to bring a renewed dedication to something. Of course, Queen of Wands energy being the fiery, passionate, and charismatic, and also pretty much proactive queen. The cards, this engagement, this contract, this renewed dedication is very is not passive. It seems to those camps are very active with this queen. So a person may initiate these things, or this is you are taking role to accomplish something or to declare some norms or your point of view around these things. But you know, the thing is that we have the two of the court cards together. So the bottom of the deck energy is also like the opposition to this, like Gemini new moon, like there is duality, like you will, there is yes and no, there is right or wrong, like there is this duality. It doesn't have to be opposite, it's just like duality there. There is also the King of Wands energy with the Fox telling me that there is a very strong-willed force around these times, and this is really operating underneath, or it's like a very arcing idea. But the Fox energy is very much the caution and the strategy around things, and when you make clever maneuvers, or you go through those selective disclosures. So beneath the surface, I think there are negotiations going on. There are competing agendas of people. Also, you may see people presenting themselves confidently, like this Queen of Wands, but they are maybe protecting their own interests. There can be leadership figures around this time who are calculating their next move. So, Queen of Wands entering to me feels a bit like a open commitment. King of Wands, though, is more of like a strategic commitment. So there is a very fascinating polarity going on, maybe in our lives, and this may play out in many different terms. Now, it's also interesting, Gemini known to be one of those fastest signs, right? Knight of Pentacles, and this is the quality of their it's a Mercury sign. Knight of Pentacles, though, is a very slow movement compared to other knights, but it's here with the rider, which is the news, the arrival, the swiftness, developments, especially fast ones, abrupt changes. It's really movement. I think around this time you're gonna see something um, that has that slow movement, or maybe it was moving slowly. Now, around this new moon, you're gonna finally see that it's showing some visible signs of progress about its existence, let's say. So, something also showing progress, like making itself concrete. That can be also like an acknowledgement. This is also something is really taking shape, some physical shape. I don't think this is a very fast progress, but the progress that I think exists. So you're gonna see it with evidence. Of course, Gemini new moons, ladies and gentlemen, comes with a lot of information. You may be finding yourself dealing with a lot of information. This is the nature of it. With the Gemini energy, we are looking at a lot of conversation, paperwork, announcements, decisions. They are all Gemini energy. So you may be finding some updates as well. Those updates may arrive. You may see if you have like applied to somewhere, like if there is applications moving around you. Well, you can really see those applications moving fast now, fast processing or processed. You're gonna see your responses being received, and also fast. So if you had any delayed plans, you're gonna see they're actually gaining momentum at this time. So this rider energy really making things speed up. And with the Knight of Pentacles, it's not, changing its nature. Actually, it's making these things underneath very visible to us. So there is no chance to miss them. Now, I think one of the most interesting combinations here is the Four of Swords and the Whip energy. Whip energy, ladies and gentlemen, the Whip energy wants reputation, um, repetition. Um, it's an argumentative card, It's stress, and it's our overthinking, and when we revisit something over and over again with the Four of Swords, it makes um sense, because after a lot of consideration and that overthinking, again the Gemini energy, people trying to rest, but their minds refuse to stop processing. So there can be some physical exhaustion, and but the mind can really refuse to stop processing. So I think around this time our head will be very busy, especially when it comes to revisiting some old conversations. You may find yourself returning some unresolved topics, a lot of mental rumination, and you may really need a recovery after a period of conflict, and it's okay for you to give that to yourself. um I see around this time a lot of practice and repetition, especially about the conversations that we want to make, or you find yourself still thinking about something, that moment, that scenery. Actually, it's been done, but I see a lot of mental exhaustion too, you know. Um, but for some of us, I think this is going to be about refinement. Um, you are not going to abandon the thing, but you're going to refine it with thinking. So, and it can be still very productive, regardless of the whip energy here. But yeah, at some point, if you need to stop and pause, you know, just go for it. Now, the Three of Pentacles and the Letter, this is very Gemini, if you ask me. And someone is asking, or they have asked about our collaboration. So there's a lot of letters, in this case, email or messages or documents. But there can be also a lot of paperwork, by the way. Gemini is also paperwork. So, um, yeah, you may see yourself delivering those paperwork, receiving that paperwork. You may realize contracts happening, negotiations taking place, applications, and how we collaborate will be important. By the way, some of us also going through some official correspondence, and there can be a different language you need to use around that thing, maybe a different terminology you got to work on and study. um, and you can also see agreements being drafted as well. Like there is this real collective time, I think, happening with this Three of Pentacles energy around communication and collaboration. Yeah, there is going to be a lot of central terms, I feel. And you know, the written communication can be also very great to do, like also to document things. If you need to like make something documented, you know, follow the most analog ways rather than digital, I would say. I mean, if there is any chance like that. And you know, after all these things, now we come to a decision. Nine of Pentacles and the Sky. This is our decisions now becoming decisive. If you ask me, Nine of Pentacles, we become somewhat now independent and we are self-sufficient. We have collaborated, you know, overthought things. Had to go through a lot of things underneath when it comes to also collapse projects, agreements. But Nine of Pentacles telling me that you will be at least finishing up with something, and you're gonna come strong out of this. This is this new moon. You may have some personal achievements, and you can stand with self sufficiency. There is a comfort of knowing that you have done enough or what needs to be done. So, in the end, it's gonna feel very fast, clean, and um, you're gonna cut off things that need separation as well, because you need to preserve your own autonomy. So some contracts then, among those dualities, there will be some choices, but in the end, you're gonna stand self-sufficient. You will know what is now being cut, with all that now sorted things. Um, yeah, I mean, some necessary separations to preserve self autonomy is very visible here. So, I mean, possible manifestations can come as ending an agreement or saying no to something, not starting it. You may also cutting a dependency. You may find yourself establishing boundaries, and a lot of people. we're likely to choose personal freedom over obligation, even in a conversation. I also feel some financial practical decisions can be done, and they can be very swift, by the way. Um, and also, you see the grapes here. You can also rip something, like you can really cut when something is ready for you to. So it that can be also harvest, but you cut it, right? You cut what is already ready. So in the end, you will remove what is no longer useful. So it's important to see that. Now, Five of Cups and the bouquet. Okay, so it's a bit. It seems like with the Five of Cups a bit harsh, but I think this is softening our reading in a considerable amount. Yes, Five of Cups are disappointment energy, comes with the flowers, gifts, appreciation. So I think healing, if you want to find the healing around this time, I would say, uh, healing comes actually after the disappointment. So, yeah, um, something positive is offered here as the regret becomes visible. So it's okay to reveal those disappointments, regrets, because this is when you're gonna get your positive offer. So we have some silver lining quality here. Flowers, I think, don't erase the five of cups disappointment, but they are telling me that not everything is lost. So around this time, someone may receive support, recognition, maybe a gift, maybe an invitation, or there's going to be some pleasant surprise. Um, so, commitments, partnerships, agreements comes really into focus, and you're gonna see how now stalled situations actually um, getting moving. You're gonna see a lot of old issues being revisited, reviewed for resolution, but the communication, paperwork, and everything with it, like becoming very important. It's not. It is going to be very crafty and um, to do this. And if there are like skillful ways to do these things, definitely follow them. Um, I also feel as we come a long way to this point, I feel a very decisive cut or boundary is also being established to protect the independence. And yeah, this may disappoint someone, but disappointment also gives way to appreciation and support. You may see really pleasant developments in that disappointment energy if you go through one. And behind many visible events, there can be people with strong personalities. These can be some leadership figures. Um, yeah, they are in some negotiation strategy, um, or this terms like a person trying to advance in their own interest, but you are, yeah, protecting your independence in your ground. And if you think you lose something for being that, a lot of appreciation comes to you while one or two people leave maybe from your life, but you get a lot of appreciation from others for to do that. um it's very striking for this reading around this time in this upcoming Gemini new moon. Look at the cards, how they revolve around these themes, like around communication, agreements, paperwork, negotiations, messages, and also the strategic decision making. There can be also, if there is strategic decision making around this time, there can be also the lack of it. And lack of it um, can, the lack of it can um, create some restriction around accessing some things. So, Gemini energy is very transactional energy, and it's mental and transactional. They usually claim they figure it out all, and when someone becoming purely emotional, this archetype can go very again transactional. So you know that's why the disappointment happens actually with the Scorpio Five of Cups. But there's still a value in acknowledgement of feelings because Jupiter is in Cancer, and this is when the gifts can also come. So don't worry if some don't get worried if some self-interested strategy trying to achieve something with your also pure emotions that needs to be expressed is actually getting a lot of appreciation and blessings than that. So this is also something to, I think, mention about. You know, um, I want to get I want to get also oracle cards from this deck, animal spirit deck. So let's read. Let's get a guidance as well for this Gemini new moon. By the way, if you have any tarot questions around this time, you can visit me in my live streams called Karo is answering your tarot questions. There you can also ask me your tarot questions. If you don't know how these live streams work, please check the description box below. If you are new to my channel, new to me, new to my energy. But sometimes they say, Karo, I have already know you like for eras, centuries of time. um, because like we are in some same soul family. So, wow, okay. Your animal oracle message is humpback whale, singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. This is, by the way, humpback whales. Aren't they amazing, mighty giants? Very impressive card. Friends, this is a lot of, to me, Nine of Pentacles, a lot of Queen of Wands energy. Um, you know, the singing theme also very Gemini. I mean, not necessarily literal singing, Though for some people maybe it can be. But I think this is more, in a broader sense, it's about being able to use your own voice. So, um, you know, the whale does not rush around like rider, right? It doesn't fight like the whip. It communicates across distances through magnetism and resonance and vibration. So your voice around this time is a magnet and it carries farther than you think. So if you are a creator, if you are a teacher, if you are a writer, if you're a speaker, counselor, like if you are anyone who is putting a message into the world with what vocational quality doesn't matter, but if you are putting your message into the world, then yeah, it can go farther than you think. When it says like your inner navigation, this is like again nine of pentacles and sky energy to me, because around this time the collective plan uh, may involve cutting away the outside noises, and you got to like trust your own internal compass. And these whales, I read a lot about them, whales, elephants, and giraffes. These guys, they migrate thousands of miles, and they somehow know where they're going. They don't need a committee to tell about their destination. Nothing can really stop you or keep you from your goal, dear friends. So, the whales energy also reminding me a bit Knight of Pentacles, because both are a bit, um, they, it's not about getting instant results, but they arrive at a spot, one through migrating, one through being slow and persistence. Um, so very interesting. With the whales, for instance, Gemini also is a bit very sound, right? It's mercurial. And these guys, they also communicate with those, how to say that, resonance, that um, they communicate through sound rather than force. So I think this Gemini new moon, you are given a greatest strength. And it is not about pushing harder. It is you communicating authentically. That's why Five of Cups communicated authentically. Maybe dropping few tears, or you become vulnerable in front of many people, but also you that's strength too. And you made your words cross the other people. You didn't push harder. Your voice was your greatest strength. So you speak the message, friends. Speak the message, send the email, write the letter, have the conversation, express that idea, share your creation around this time, because the communication will be a vehicle. Um, there can be, of course, a lot of traveling to around this time. Vehicles are definitely important. Plus, if you are using any transportation vehicle, you can also meet a lot of interesting people there. And you know what? Around this Gemini is about youth and young. So there can be some stress on these times, like being young or you looking younger. There can be some conversations like that. Um, and obviously communications will become the vehicle too. So movements, agreements, healing, progress, these they can all occur. And I'm very happy the Gemini new moon comes with this remarkable animals. And but they also produce those songs, right? Maybe you are also, if you are making songs, and with Gemini energy, they are usually very chatty songs, complex songs. It's very hard for the other people to sing with the chorus of that song, usually. Like Gemini energy, like the only singer like can sing it. I mean, if you know what I mean. Whatever you are creating, and especially if there is any songs, they can really travel big distances. Songs can travel distances through the ocean. Um, and yeah, this is making it very fitting for this Gemini new moon. A lot of central times, around messages, voice, connection, communication. Absolutely a gem reading, let's say. Like they say, Gemini is gem, right? It's a gem reading. So thank you so much for joining me in this one. Once again, if you have personal tarot questions, join my live streams for a tarot question session. I will be there waiting you, and we go from there. If you don't know how my live streams work, check the description box below. Thank you so much, friends. Have a wonderful Gemini new moon. See you around. Bye bye.